Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about working capital. Already we have completed fixed capital and the factors which has to be kept in mind for fulfilling the requirement of fixed capital. Now apart from investment in fixed assets in any organization, there is also investment required in current assets, because it is only the current assets which fulfills the requirement of working capital in an organization. Working capital means that capital which fulfills the day to day requirement of business, and that day to day requirement is basically related with investment in current assets. So what are current assets? Current assets are those assets which can be converted into cash or cash equivalents within a period of 1 year. Those assets which can be converted into cash or cash equivalents, because current assets, they are generally considered as more liquid assets as compared to long term assets, because they can be easily converted into cash or its cash equivalent. In order of liquidity, we see that always current assets can be converted easily. Higher is the order of liquidity of current assets, more easily the asset can be converted into cash or cash equivalent without loss in its value. So current assets always has order of liquidity. Order of liquidity means how it can be, in what way it can be easily converted into cash or cash equivalent. So there are so many examples of current assets, but we will be learning just now the examples of current assets in order of liquidity, because higher is the order of liquidity, more easily can the current asset be converted into cash or cash equivalent without reduction in its value. And the most liquid current asset is cash in hand first, then cash at bank, then marketable securities, then bills receivable, then debtors, then finished goods inventory, then work in progress, then raw materials, and last is the prepaid expenses. And these are the examples of current assets. Sometimes in exam, in 1 year board paper, a question was asked, 1 mark question. Name the current asset which is last in order of liquidity. So last is prepaid expenses and first is cash in hand. So always in order of liquidity, that means the order, if it is higher, it can more easily be converted into cash or cash equivalent without reduction in its value. And a company always has the requirement of these current assets to meet the day-to-day requirements of the business, which is called working capital requirement needs. But current assets always has greater liquidity but low returns. That means less profitability. So there should be proper balance to be maintained by the organization in terms of liquidity and profitability. This is something which is very, very important, because we have already learned when we were learning about the factors affecting, you may say, working capital requirement needs. It has to be kept in mind the liquidity and profitability ratio, what has to be maintained in the organization. This is the main factor on the basis of which the working capital requirement decisions are taken in any organization. Because if there will be more liquidity and less profitability, it will be wastage of fund. And if there will be more profitability but the liquidity is not there, then, and there is requirement of more funds, those profits, they will be invested in business. So always proper balance has to be maintained between liquidity and profitability in any organization, and for that proper estimation of working capital requirement needs has to be maintained. Now how do we calculate working capital? That also we will be learning, but before that we have to learn, when we have learned current assets. Current assets means those assets which can be converted into cash or cash equivalent within the period of 1 year. That means short term period, within 1 year period. Whereas current liabilities are short term liabilities, which has to be met by the organization, which is related with payment obligations of the business organization within 1 year period. That is why it is called short term payment obligation. Current liability is in short term payment obligation. Examples: creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses, advance received from creditors. These are all current liabilities, and there should be proper balance between current assets and current liabilities, which should be maintained by every organization. Now we will be learning about working capital. Working capital is of two types: net working capital and gross working capital. Net working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities, whereas gross working capital is aggregate of current assets in the organization. Current asset is short-term asset, current liability is short-term liability. And the difference between current asset and current liability, that is what is called working capital, but that is net working capital. Gross working capital is aggregate of current assets. So let us see if in a balance sheet we can just understand. This is the liability side and this is the asset side. Current asset is 50,000 and current liability is 35,000. So what will be net working capital? Net working capital in this case will be current assets minus current liabilities. That means 50,000 net working capital is equal to 50,000 minus 35,000, that will be 15,000. And this 15,000, that means part of current asset that is financed through short term, through long term sources, and part through short term sources. So current asset is that asset, always it has to be kept in mind, it is financed partly by short term and partly by long term sources. The difference between current assets and current liability is that part of current asset which is financed through long term liability. In this case, if the difference is 15,000, that means this amount of current asset that will be financed through long term liability. Earlier when we were learning about fixed capital, we learned that fixed assets is never financed from short term liabilities, short term sources. It is always financed from long term sources, maybe in the form of debt or in the form of equity. But current assets, it is financed through both long term and short term sources. That part of current assets which is net working capital, that is financed through long term sources. Rest, it is financed through short term sources, and that is what is called current liability. Current liability is short term and liability, and fixed liability is long term liability. So in this case we can understand, and this is what is called working capital. Now there are various factors affecting working capital requirement needs of any business organization, which has to be taken into consideration, because proper liquidity and profitability quotient has to be maintained in every organization. Neither there should be excess nor shortage of liquidity, so that it doesn't affect profitability adversely. So we will be learning what all factors has to be taken into consideration in order to maintain proper working capital as required in the business organization. The first factor is nature of business. Nature of business is also called type of business. So businesses, we have learned, they are of various types. It may be a trading concern, it may be a service industry, or it may be a manufacturing industry. In case of trading industry or trading concern, we see that working capital requirement is less. Why it is less? Because in case of trading industry, there is no need convert raw material to finished goods. There is immediate sale as soon as the product is received. So whenever there is no conversion of raw material or there is no need for maintenance of raw material to be converted to finished goods, we see that the requirement of working capital will be less. In case of service industries also, we see that always the requirement of working capital is less. Why it is less? Because services cannot be stocked, we have learned. No inventory or stock is to be maintained in case of service industries. And if there is no inventory, so less working capital will be required. Whereas in case of manufacturing industries, always we see that more working capital is required. Why? Because in case of manufacturing concern, the raw materials have to be converted or processed into finished goods for sale, and so more working capital is required. Raw materials have to be maintained in the organization to meet the requirements of these manufacturing industries. In exams, case study based questions related to this cases may be asked, so you will have to identify the type of industry, and question may be related with fixed capital or working capital requirement according to the type of industry. And along with that, in each and every business type or nature, the reasons also have to be written. Why it is like that, less or more, why. So you have to understand. Now we are moving on to the second factor, that is scale of operation. The scale of operation may be higher or lower. If the scale of operation is higher in any business organization, we see that more working capital will be required. And businesses which operate on a higher scale, we see that there is greater production in such businesses, greater sales in such businesses, greater inventory in such businesses. As a result, there is more requirement of working capital. Whereas in case of businesses which has lower or less scale of operation, we see that they require less working capital. Why? Because they have less production, less sales, less inventory has to be maintained. As a result, we see that generally working capital requirement also depends upon the scale of operation. And big companies, they operate on a higher scale, so there the requirement of working capital is more as compared to the smaller companies. Now third factor is business cycle. So in business, we see that it faces two types of period. One may be the boom period, another may be the depression period. So whenever it will be boom period means the business is on the high. That means there will be greater production, there will be greater demand, there will be greater sales. So more inventories, more debtors, and always greater working capital. Whereas when the business cycle is on depression phase, we see that there is less demand, so less production, there will be less sale, limited inventories, as a result less working capital requirement. Then seasonal factors also play a significant role in affecting working capital requirement needs. So there may be two types of seasons which the business may experience. If it is a peak season, in peak season generally we see that the demand rises of products, and whenever the demand rises we see that production and sale both rise, and that leads to greater requirement of working capital. Whereas in lean season we see that always there is less demand, so less production and sale, so less requirement of working capital. Simple. Now production cycle. Fifth is production cycle. In production cycle, it has to be determined. Production cycle means time taken to convert raw materials to finished goods. This is what is production cycle, and it has to be administered whether the time and the length of production cycle is greater or it is less. If we see that it is a longer production cycle, that means more time is taken in conversion of raw material into finished goods, then more stocks will have to be maintained to meet the demand of the product. So if it is a longer production cycle, we see that more working capital will be required. But if it is a shorter production cycle, it will be less working capital requirement, because less time is taken to convert raw material into finished goods, and the length of production cycle is shorter, which makes the length of production cycle shorter. And if the production cycle is shorter, then because the requirement of raw materials is met out easily, and we see that it is easily converted into finished goods, the time taken is less, then it is having a shorter production cycle, and no more excess stocks has to be maintained, because as soon as the demand comes, the demand can be tailor made. So in this case we see that the production cycle is another factor which has to be taken into consideration. Then sixth point is credit allowed. Just keep this in mind, there are 2 points: credit allowed and credit availed. Credit allowed, that means to what extent the company is allowing credit sales, and that depends on 2 factors. One is level of competition, and second is credit worthiness of business. So if the level of competition that is higher, then more credit the business organizations will provide. As a result, it will have to maintain greater working capital. If the goods they are sold on credit basis, that means always stocks have to be properly maintained. So it depends upon the level of competition. If the goods or the products which the business organization is dealing, it is having very high level of competition, then there is need to maintain higher stock, because higher credit, possibility of higher credit will be there, and to meet that, working capital requirement needs will be more. Whereas if the level of competition is less, then the company may take the decision not to give the goods on credit, and if it is not going to give the goods on credit, then there is possibility that the company may deal or meet the working capital requirement needs with lesser inventory. Then the credit worthiness of the business. If greater is the credit worthiness of the business, greater will be the working capital requirement. So on the whole, we see that if greater credit is allowed, more working capital requirement, because greater inventories will have to be maintained and more debtors will be there. Credit availed. If the company is itself availing goods on credit basis, then it will have to maintain less working capital, and vice versa. Eighth, operating efficiency. It depends on operating efficiency, means how is the business organization operating. If it is operating with better efficiency, you may say, if the operating efficiency is better or good, always less working capital is required, and vice versa. But if the operating efficiency is not good, then more stocks, more raw materials, and more sales efforts will have to be made. So this operating efficiency depends on three things: inventory turnover ratio, which is related with raw materials. How easily can the business organization convert the raw materials into finished goods with easy accessibility? If it is done efficiently, very easily, then less working capital will be required. But if it is taking more time to avail raw materials and convert it into finished goods, then always the inventory turnover ratio will be high. So in that case, it will have to require more of working capital. Second thing is debtor turnover ratio. If there are more debtors in the organization, then there is always need to see that the stocks have to be properly maintained, and that is why there will be need for higher working capital. Sales effort with minimum sales effort, or sales efforts are better, you may say, or easily the sales is made possible in the organization, then less working capital requirement, otherwise more. So overall, we see that when we say greater operating efficiency, less working capital, and vice versa, that means it depends upon inventory turnover ratio, it debts upon debtor turnover ratio, and It depends upon the sales efforts. If the organization is able to manage efficiently the inventory turnover and the data in the sales effort easily, then there is no requirement of maintaining extra working capital. As a result, with less working capital requirement, the company or the organization can operate efficiently, otherwise more. Then comes the availability of raw materials. It depends upon the availability of raw materials on regular basis and the lead time. Lead time means the time taken to place order and get the availability of the raw material, or get the receipt of raw material. If the lead time is more, the order is placed and it takes much, you may say, more time to make available the orders which has been placed, then always proper stocks will have to be maintained in advance of the raw materials, and there will be more requirement of working capital. But if the lead time is less, as soon as the order is placed, immediately we see that the order is met out, then with limited amount of raw materials, we see that the working capital requirements can be met. So greater is the lead time. If the lead time is more or greater, whatever you may feel like, you may say, that means more time is taken in getting the orders met, then always there will be greater requirement of working capital and vice versa. And if we see that regularity, availability is on regular basis, then less working capital and vice versa. If availability is not on regular basis, it is on irregular basis, then there will be more requirement of working capital to be maintained by the organization. So it depends on two factors: availability of its regularity, whether it is regular or irregular, and secondly the lead time. If the lead time is more, then more working capital will be required. If the lead time is less, then there will be less working capital required. Growth